I want to talk about Jesse Lingard's performance in today's video in a little bit more detail, give my opinion on it, because there's only so much you can cover in a match reaction. You know, you're trying to record and try and remember everything that has happened in the game and not really highlight one individual player's performance. And this is where I'm going to sort of give more of an extensive opinion on Jesse Lingard's performance, because this is someone who did come under a little bit of scrutiny. Some West Ham fans, you know, like myself, were like, well, why are we signing this player? You know, he's only played 3 games all season. He's not match fit. Is he going to be able to come in and make an immediate impact? He's probably going to take 4, 5, 6 games of his loan before he's up to full speed. But David Moyes, after the game against Aston Villa, said that he wanted another player in behind the striker who could give us more options, could be competing for a starting place, to give more competition to the likes of Bowen, Ben Rama, Fornals, Yarmolenko. And what we saw from Jesse Lingard last night was, whilst we have seen fantastic in possession playing, in fantastic sort of rotation of players and sort of patterns of play with our 3 behind the striker so far this season, I feel like yesterday was the first time where I thought we went a step above that. And that's what Jesse Lingard brought to us. This is someone that, as I said, has only played 3 games all season. And David Moyes has taught me in regards to Craig Dawson, you know, that if he wants someone, we have to back him 100%, because I wasn't a fan of Craig Dawson. Craig Dawson has been absolutely fantastic since he's come into this team, and he's been absolutely spot on with the signing of Jesse Lingard. But what I was most impressed with Jesse Lingard was that it looked like he played 40, 50 games for this West Ham team. It looked like he struck a combination and an understanding of Ben Rama straight away, in terms of, you know, linking up play, 1-2s, dropping deep, giving the ball back to Ben Rama. Then he'd go for a 1-2 round the corner. And I was very impressed with his sort of his 1-2s and his off the ball movement. And to be fair, his off the ball movement was absolutely fantastic. And we have had some very good performances from some of our players in that central area, mainly Ben Rama, if I had to think about it. You know, Leeds United away was one of his best performances, or his first, you know, really, really good performance. Crystal Palace away the other week. And then Lingard's come in. And what impressed me the most with Lingard was his spatial awareness, knowing what's happening around him when the ball's with the right back. Now, where's the best place I can sort of position myself to sort of receive this ball in a half-turn, drive at the Aston Villa defence to cause a problem, to ask questions of the opposition. And there was a passage of play in the game, I think it was the first half, and what we saw was Souček. He receives the ball, and we know Souček, whilst he's been a fantastic signing, if we had to critique him, you would probably say that he's probably not the most blessed technically in regards to passing the ball. But he done a beautiful threaded pass that split the Aston Villa midfield wide open. But it was Jesse Lingard, because what happened was, when Souček had the ball, Jesse Lingard realised he wasn't in a position to receive the ball from Souček, because there was an Aston Villa sort of covering that passing lane. But what he did, he come inside, and that enabled Souček to play a ball in between 2 Aston Villa midfielders, and then suddenly he was on the half turn running directly at that Aston Villa defence. And what I actually loved with sort of Jesse Lingard's performance is because I feel like we have a lot of creators in this team rather than goal scorers. In terms of our goal scoring, we're relying on Antonio, we're relying on Souček. We've even been reliant on the last couple of weeks on Craig Dawson to pick up a couple of goals in the FA Cup and in the league. But what I saw from Jesse Lingard that impressed me the most as well was he wasn't afraid to shoot. And as I said, a lot of I feel like our players behind the strike are creators. They're not really goal scorers. But one thing I love to see was when he was driving at that Aston Villa defence, he wasn't afraid to shoot. He wasn't afraid to have a go. We saw that in the first couple of minutes. He ran with the ball. He overhit it. He had a shot. It got blocked. And then it was only 5 or 10 minutes later. Again, he received the ball. He used Ben Rama sort of a decoy. He drove at that Aston Villa defence. He had a shot. It was a decent shot. Good height for Martinez. He parried it out. But one thing that I really, really liked was when he received that ball from Thomas Souček. The one thing he did, he passed it out wide, he got into the box. He wanted to get into the box for a shooting opportunity. And it was a brilliant pullback by Fredericks, and the ball was going into the path of Jesse Lingard, where he would have probably just walked onto it, side foot into the corner, or have a shot on target, but it got cut out. But I was most impressed with, he wanted to get in the box, he wanted to score as well as create. And some of his finishes, you know, he scored 2 goals. His movement, again, the transition, what we saw with West Ham and what we've done very good this season is our attacking transitions, defending discipline. Then when we win the ball back, can we exploit the spaces left by the opposition? But yesterday, I feel like we were very good on the ball. You know, there was times in that first half where when we had the ball, the first thing we wanted to do was, can we go forward? Can we thread the ball in between the lines? Can we trust Lingard? And the players did trust Lingard. The players trusted Lingard a lot in terms of giving the ball 5 or 10 yards, even though there's an Aston Villa player on his back. They trusted him in order to have the ball in tight situations, to weave round the player, or just to set it back and off the ball movement to collect the ball again from another pass. And I thought he was absolutely fantastic. And his first goal, you know, it was a counter-attack. Benrahma's driving with the ball. He goes to Antonio. And I was a little bit frustrated with Antonio because he should have passed to Benrahma only a couple of minutes before. And that was, I spoke about West Ham's decision-making in the final third has hindered us at times. But he made the final 30 minutes of that game, his decision-making, Antonio, was fantastic. He made the right decision. And we saw Jesse Lingard. He separates himself. He pulls away from the Aston Villa defender. And it's all about the first touch. The first touch creates the goal for Jesse Lingard because there's a beautiful lofted ball by Antonio. But anyone, you know, this guy is a predominantly right-footed player. Yes, as we saw with the first goal, he can use his left foot. But if you had asked him, if you want to shoot with your right or your left, he's asking for his right foot. He wants the ball on his right foot. But the ball comes over, he realises if he takes the touch with his right foot and shoots, there's an opportunity for the Aston Villa defender to come across and to block it. But what he does, he opens up his body, chests it to his left foot, and it's a fantastic effort. Yes, you could say there's questions about the goalkeeper. Should he have saved it? But the thing that you always taught when it comes to those sort of angles, low and hard across the goalkeeper, because they are the hardest shots to save. If they're low, hard across the goalkeeper, it's very hard for goalkeepers to get down, react really quickly to get a save, to save the shot. And he hit it hard enough. It was low enough into the corner that Martinez got a hand to it. Yes, he could have done better. It goes in. But there was a lot of trust from David Moyes. This guy, considering he only played 3 games, he played like 90 minutes. And that shows the sort of intensity that he brought to West Ham. We saw many times that when we were out of possession and the ball got played to Martinez or a centre-back of Aston Villa, he was the one that went to press with Antonio. You'd see it sort of cohesiveness. You know, Lingard would go and press one of the defenders. The ball would get played to the other defender. Antonio would go and press. And what he reminded me of, whilst he was playing that central attacking midfield role, he reminded me of like a second striker. When we had the ball, he was getting very close to Antonio in terms of when the ball gets to Antonio, can he get within 5 or a couple of yards of him so he can rebound the ball to him and West Ham can retain possession and go out left and go out right. And I thought in general, our overall play on the ball was levelled up in terms of our possession, in terms of our quality of possession, because we saw in the first, half an hour, the amount of attempts we had in comparison to Aston Villa. And that shows that when we did get the ball, we were looking forward, we were making the right passes, and we were making the right decisions. And I was very, very pleased with the impact that Jesse Lingard brought to this West Ham team. And whilst he's only played 1 game, you could say that he is now in one of those players, in one of those categories, that he's a very important part, an integral part of this West Ham team going forward. And he's only played 1 game, and that shows the kind of impact he had. You know, and Moyes alluded to it post-game, saying that he made everyone else better. Benrahma was absolutely fantastic. Benrahma knew with Lingard, they're similar kind of players. They're players that can get out of tight situations. They like to dribble the ball. They like to have an impact on the final third. They like to take players on. And there was a cohesiveness. There was an understanding between the 2 players. We saw, you know, ball would come to Benrahma, he knocks it, a nice little 1-2, and Benrahma would take the ball, or Lingard. There was some nice sort of interchange play between Benrahma and Lingard yesterday. I was thoroughly impressed with Lingard. Now we go on to Fulham. He should start again, in my opinion. Yes, it'll be 2 games in only, you know, a week for him, or 3 days. But for me, he's an integral part, because I feel like in possession, now he's in the team, we've got a little bit more quality in the ball. We've got better understanding. We've got better decision making. Players around him trust him in tight situations. You can only see the sort of confidence he had. He played with a smile on his face. We saw with Jack Grealish, you know, he was running with the ball and Jack Grealish was trying to niggle at him, try and kick his heels, and he's just running away from him and he just turns him inside out, wins the free kick. But as I said, this is someone who hasn't played a lot of football. He played with a smile on his face. And he was thoroughly enjoying his role in the team, trying to support Antonio, try and get into a box for the cutback, trying to take shots and score goals, whilst being very important in terms of maintaining possession for West Ham and try and build up the play through the central areas. And I do feel like we've spoke about, you know, West Ham being a little predictable in terms of our style of play when we've played against like Fulham at home, or, you know, Sheffield United away, or, you know, those kind of teams that are a little bit rigid in terms of breaking down. We've been a team, let's get the ball out wide, let's put the ball into the box. And we've never really found it easy to... The Crystal Palace game is actually a fantastic example. The amount of times where we went from left to right, right to left to put the ball in the box, but we never really got the ball into the middle third of the pitch or through the central areas of the pitch and try and have an impact through that way. And I feel like Jesse Lingard gives us that, because I feel like yesterday we had a lot more of the ball in central areas of the pitch with Rice, with Souček, with Jesse Lingard. And also I put that down to the absolute masterclass of a tactical decision that David Moyes did, and that was putting Ryan Fredericks on the right-hand side. He put Ryan Fredericks on the right-hand side, who's a player who's going to get chalk on his boots. He's going to stay out wide. And what does that leave? That leaves space for players like Rice, like Souček, like Lingard and Ben Rama to operate in those central areas, where if it was Bowen, we know Bowen's left-footed. He's going to come in and try and drive into that space. And I feel like Fredericks give us that little bit more variety yesterday. We had Ben Rama and Lingard who can interchange. They're right-footed. They like to come inside. But then we had a right winger who's a right-back or a right wing-back stretching the field, making the pitch as big as possible, which allowed the space for Lingard and Ben Rama to operate in. But, you know, Dawson taught me never to dismiss a signing again, and looks like David Moyes, whilst it's only been one game, he's been absolutely bang on with this signing. He brings an intensity, he brings experience. This is someone who had England international pedigree. It wasn't so long ago that he was in the England squad scoring goals in the World Cup. He has got quality. It's now, obviously he has had tough personal issues. It's now bringing out the smile on his face, letting him enjoy his football. And hopefully, if he carries on like this, we can sign him on a permanent in the summer. Guys, hit the subscribe button for more West Ham videos, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.